Good morning. We just cycled songs. That's going to be a little bit. Alright, so I think we need to get focus on here. The combo to work. There we go. Alright, so I've been running a Docker setup for my local private server. I actually did the Vagrant one first, and I was like, well, that would be good for doing it just on this computer. Then I ended up trying to make a Docker to maybe move into a server. Never actually did that, in part because of Apocalypse and Riches to Rags and all that stuff that made it less interesting to have your own private server hanging around. Let's see, yeah, maybe a little bit off. What I need to do is affect the angle here. Too much lag. Okay, it wants to be slightly that way, I think. Or I should just stand slightly over. Okay. So, what I've ended up doing is Docker has gotten updates to some of these update scripts. I'm actually going to want another one of these. So we can keep an eye on that and also look at this, which I think pretty much just has this as the only script, and maybe I'm using some stuff from the 1 hour repositories. But I don't really have good update procedures for this or anything. So of course, we've got all the game files in here, so it's Vagrant file. So yeah, server port. So this is just a server right now. We'll start out. Start out with it as a server. Okay, we have install and just get that up to date. Yeah, so right now I've got the setting updates in here. Update, install. So, is this a one-time thing, or does it redo that every time it boots up? Provision. Other thing I want to do is check which files are committed here. Unstaged changes. Okay. Okay, so I've got 2 scripts under here that are actually considered part of the pull and build latest, pull and build test system. And my install, is that running both of those? Okay, so that was part of the recommended thing to set up your own server. I think test system actually does build the editor and things, which actually is what my long-term goal for this is. That's probably fine. But I would like to see if I can pull out some of this stuff and reuse the same script I'm using for Docker. These, since I have copies of them, they may be modified. Or they were just things I pulled from Jason's things elsewhere. Yeah, and then this does the more traditional style of looking. Now these I think actually did come from some of his scripts somewhere. So I'd want to different these and see if there's been any updates. So that would involve doing the updates. Install. Okay, so pull and build latest is going to versus pull and build. So it's actually going to go ahead and make stuff before I had a chance to verify. Well, I can do these out of band. So I've got these should be in Git. Okay. So are these in Docker? Okay, yes, although I'm not sure I was running them directly. Okay, so they are different. Tags. That's probably fine. That is two different lines, though. Okay, we're getting a specific ref tags. Ref tags. Okay, that's fine. We want that. Data version number, tutorial maps, probably been since I did this. Server code version. Okay, so these all seem good. Updated. Oops. Are the only changes? Yeah. Oh. I forgot I have shortcuts here. Okay, so that should allow us, well, the setting update. I'm going to have to refresh myself on some CD server do the updates. So we have Docker. Well, I did pull out a build client there. Oh, you know what? I took these and broke them out. So I had like update, but this is linking different paths. So that might... Where was I running you then? Source, run to build, run to build. Oh, CD server, and then link in all that stuff. Because I was trying to set up more deliberate paths. Build, test client, and editor. So actually, I do kind of like that I have this broken out. CD game source. And then it links in all of that stuff. Is that based on... Link client directories. So pull and build latest. Okay, so there's linking all the directories. This is test system. CD server, link all this stuff. Okay. So what I had done before was just copy his scripts that sort of built everything in place. But I kind of wanted to use some of this stuff so you could do parts of it if you needed to. Are these directory structures going to be compatible? This has a source in it, which I needed for, I kind of wanted for better isolation there. Just in the one life build source. So it's going to be in the build context. Build server, go to server, configure make. Get the server code version number. Test client and editor, make editor. I'm not sure that makes a test client. Fetch latest tagged. Okay, that appears to be reasonably updated. And then what do we have in server? Probably not too much. Configure settings. Link static. This is a little bit more specific to the Docker environment, I think. Because we have very specific things you can write, places you can write, and places you can't write. So yeah, run, links the static. To the server, and then runs the server. Okay, so for build, well, I want to continue separating source. Because somewhere I'm going to end up with all my build junk. From the looks of, well, running those scripts. Maybe these scripts won't end up dropping everything there. It would be easier to synchronize things if I kept a source. But I can keep this clean here because it's Docker, it sends over a copy. So I can't completely do that anyway. All right, okay. So if we start with these, and the problem is we've got so much junk here. Or do we make that the source directory where everything happens? I forget exactly how the context map. So this is the context, and the source is all up there. So I can isolate that. Or the way he's set up for stuff. Oh, did I copy these already? No, I don't have to build client. So I've been doing something with this. So this build server does the settings. Yeah. Or initially interested in server, so let's get that, and then configure settings ended up somewhere else. Well, so this is from One Life server. This is One Life server. One Life server. Right, because I ignored everything here. Because mostly generated stuff. Oh, I've got fetch latest tagged too. And then local fetch, CDs to source does fetch latest tagged. Okay. So this ended up being shared. And maybe I should have checkpointed these first so I could diff them easily. Build server was definitely there. I'll have to double check for source references. I think that's okay. Link client directories. It's technically already been done in this context, so we may have to revisit some of that. Well, it's client directories. I haven't gotten into building a client yet. And then in the server context, we have configure settings, which should actually run in the context of the server folder. So this configures the settings, assuming you are already in the appropriate folder. All right, so we want to be pulling this stuff out of install. Maybe there. This is going to be configure settings. No, it did underscore. And then this can all go out of here. And we think what we need to do is something more like okay. and build server. And actually, some of this would actually be in Docker land as well. I may have to do something with that. Or we have the build Docker file, run fetch latest tag, run build server, and then the server Docker file, which gets the versions and then does Docker build. No, that's the shell file. Copies that stuff, which is going to be similar to linking. Run configure settings. Set the process work dirty. Yeah, we did a bunch of stuff to make it, give it a dedicated DB. Okay, not too much there. So build server. Okay, so that, maybe deal with that later. Now I don't know, oop. Okay, maybe we do need the update. Input capture is mostly good. There we go. And Firefox does have a more subtle download bar. Yeah, I think there was actually an OS X update. Since, well, that was in a DMG, so I guess moving it doesn't matter. Oh, yes, you did get the DMG. All right. So was that the issue? No. Maybe we have some cached stuff that's not good? Uh... Okay, so that's the base image. not the individual ones. So box stops and deletes all traces of the Vagrant machine. I guess if you're looking to restart, which we're write the Vagrant file. Destroy. Apparently you can have multiple versions of it. Alright, let's see if we can now start this. Oh. That was a vulnerability. Machine wrap interface iMachine. Okay, so maybe we also need to update VirtualBox. I guess this is what happens when you don't use something for too long. Oof. All right. I don't think I need to run it directly. We're just trying to have this available for Vagrant right now. This is quite the interesting piece of art, apparently dating back to the days of CDs. Is it still closing by itself? All right, let's reset this again just to be safe. Okay, we're doing all the box updates. This might mean I also need to be updating Vagrant on Windows or I'd like to get things over there at some point. So I don't have this awkward two system setup. All right, let that start downloading. Well, unfortunately, we're doing multiple downloads here, although I think some of this is, point-to-point, or, connection negotiation and reset and install and all that stuff. So I don't think it's purely bandwidth limited on this end. I think that's done. No, it's not done. Progress was so slow, it hadn't really appeared. It's giving me a get number, but not an out of how many. Okay, so actually that was a download and then an install phase. Okay, now we're actually cloning one life. Ooh. So right now these will only build stock clients. I want to be testing my custom stuff. I'm gonna have to tweak some URLs or set it up to fetch all of them. Is that in fact still downloading? Yep. Just real slow. I wonder if it went into a compile stop already. They're clearly doing something. Unless they got all the tags first and then has to download the content? Okay, that might be data versus code. Or maybe it's getting all the content for the next repo and then all the tags. All right, and we're attempting to compile something. We're only set up to do server? Yeah, right now. This was originally primarily a thing to run the server. So I guess it makes sense to compile it right off. And we've got the scripts broken in a little bit if we need to recompile things. Okay, so we've got some problems with our linking stuff. And configure settings was not found, so I may have to move where that is. Oh. So CD server, so we kind of got all our stuff down here. So that's 2 directories up. So is that build server? Okay, make server, and then we're attempting to do this stuff. So this was originally in source. So if we're in server, no. If we're in server, we should still have to go down to the level where one life data is. Well, we should be able to shell in and start working on stuff here, so... Vagrant SSH? Alright, that's Vagrant. I think I did a, was it just OHO? Yes, okay, so that's the merge. We've got our scripts in here. We've got one life server. So if we're here, we've made, that's that directory. So why is this not working? Oh, failed to create because it exists. Right, I left all the guards out of this because it came from a Docker environment. I think if we look at Jason's scripts, this kind of stuff has not exist guards on them. Okay. Oh, that might have actually been the same set of links. Okay. It. And fee. All right, so from SSH, we've CD'd to server. Well, so if we want to run this entire script, we actually have to go back. Build server. Nothing to be done. No complaints. All right, so our install then said, right, configure settings, oops. Don't need that. Was not part of build server because it actually happened in a different context before. CD one life server, and then down here, what am I at? Oh, too many dots. Configure settings appears to have run okay. So this doesn't actually start the server. Which is, might be a useful little script to have. So in this context, our server, these are static files. Which I think, oh, right, because I had it growing in a run directory that was writable for logs and things. No, link static into server. Huh. I would have to remind myself how this worked. Workdir server. Configure settings. Well, it did copy things into a directory. That's all the copies, configure settings. Yep. So yeah, I was doing a little bit of that. I'm actually trying to translate some of the work I did on. I started with Vagrant, went to Docker. Now I want to translate some of it back to Vagrant, so I have more of an interactive developer environment to use some of the GUI tools. So I'm just trying to remember how I had everything set up. Yeah, because like the build environment just has tons of libraries and has like all the source code. And the output is really just a program and a few other things we want to pull out of it. So build source, workdir server, so copy all that stuff into the server. Yeah, get our context into there, copy all our data out of there, along with the server itself. Setting, configure the settings. So that's where we run it there. And then we had to relink a bunch of stuff from there to where? Workdir server. Oh no, that happens when the run. Right, because in case in some cases we're copying, right, because probably the run directory is data, in case it writes log files and things. So we may have to copy some things in there. Which shouldn't be as big an issue in the other environment, so we don't think we need to worry about that. So I might just, see, this does not change directories. This changes directory to the database directory where we write everything. I mean, that's not a terrible idea to do a similar thing in Vagrant. So you'd have your stuff together. I think I've already run this directory in that setup, so. C9.io, I have not. We're actually done with this. Cloud IDE for writing, running, and debugging code. Yeah, I've never gotten into the online environments yet. I guess I haven't had a really strong use case for it. Well, I guess there's the fact that I'm going between two computers sometimes. Existing oh, okay, so Amazon took it over. I thought I had seen some sort of cloud environment like that before. Oh, yeah, if you're doing heavy duty compiling stuff, I guess I could see that. As long as you're online, which one of the reasons I sometimes use the laptop is to be offline. All right, we're trying to sort out what we want to do. Well, maybe I could treat getting Vagrant to a dedicated database setup as a separate step. So we've got configure settings, we copied that. Link static is specific to the separated database. And the run command for the Docker or for the Vagrant environment would be more like, okay, so Vagrant, yeah, we want something like Vagrant install. This is our merge directory. Was I doing? Yes, I was doing that. Okay. Oops. A lot of files. Well, you know what? This needs to be like run server. This is hopefully going to give me something else. So this would be CD. From here, it's just server. I guess to be safe, we could do an R1 Life server and then so from a shell, we could then do, oh no, it's actually one life server. Still have that. And we just do there's some other run here. Server starting up. 0 animations. That seems like we don't have things set up properly. Now we got objects. Interestingly enough, this stage runs a lot faster on the Docker boxes. Oh, yeah. Mobile backpack. That's crazy. What do you mean? Dev on stream? I've usually done about 75 for paid work. All right, so error 1 opening, no look times, not found. Oh, you know what? I did have some old stuff here. So CD. And thank you for the follow. How'd you like watching me fail to restart servers? One life, server, and admittedly, the Vagrant Docker stuff is not my specialty. I get it to work, like I get whatever I need to work, but I have more previous experience with Ruby Elm. I've done some database stuff, more at the application level, although a lot of reporting and things. Some microcontroller stuff, although I'm not currently set up for any of that. That was more a particular job where that was a thing. All right, so there's probably some conversion stuff. I really don't care about these files. And this is the thing where I don't like having all the stuff just here. All right, well, this is the same thing the script is going to do, so. Elm is a typed functional language which compiles to JavaScript and values simplicity and sort of not getting too fancy pants about the way you do things, which is sometimes painful because it cuts out some options that you might want to have. Huh. I'd swear that Jason committed a thing that actually made it not attempt to hit the reflector if it was disabled. So maybe I don't have the disable setting? Apocalypse possible. 0, so I guess that hasn't quite made it in yet. Um, Possibly. I mean, TypeScript does have a place, and then it can integrate much more easily with JavaScript and sort of be familiar to those people. But whereas TypeScript is a extra optional layer, Elm is, a language that is type checked, and one of its claims is that you do not have runtime exceptions. Uh, you know, you can still have logic errors in your program. You very often have to integrate with JavaScript where you can have runtime exceptions. You can make web requests that fail and return surprising data that fails your JSON importers, but there's very few reports of actual program exceptions, and if they are, they're considered bugs in the compiler that are hopefully fixed. So, yeah, if you want to, if Elm is a little bit too hardcore for you, then going back to TypeScript will still get some of that stuff in a more JavaScript-friendly environment. And there's also some other functional compiler JavaScript languages that are less strict about that interoperability. Elm is hoping to one day go to like WebAssembly or other environments. It's still very, very much a browser environment right now in terms of core libraries and things. Well, there's a core language library, but everything depends on browser, and lots of things depend on HTTP and or HTML for that matter, and those types of things. Well, I shouldn't say everything. Just, I actually did get it to run a little bit in Node once. Other people have done similar things. But yeah, most Elm applications are web apps. All right, so supposedly that was fixed. I guess we'll just deal with the spam. But that does seem to run. So now just double check. One life. Run server. Yeah, animations might not be relevant to the server. I'd have to... Well, actually, there's a pretty easy way to check that, really. Well, it's not going to be happy with... Ooh, I may have to shut this down because they both want to have the default port. So exit U... Vagrant down. Okay. And it's not the right command. Up. Okay, it's going to be in that class. Probably suspend is fine. Oh, and another one. Const console. Glad you like watching me shut down virtual machines. All right, so this one should all be pretty well set up. I just want to see if it has the same. So yeah, the Docker one does run faster. Interesting. All right, yeah. So zero animations is expected unless I'm misdoing something else. All right, so Vagrant. I might as well be running it. Oops. Can't just keep retyping that. Well, all right, so we updated install. There's a bunch of files, of our own files, that unfortunately I kind of had to bulk ignore everything in here, which might be an argument for So that's just the downloads. Restructuring this differently. All right, so we've got, let me try this way. Build server. Oh, we have to do -F, huh? Can I do it this way? Oop. All right, build server, configure settings. Fetch latest tagged. Run server. Okay. You see, bring in broken out scripts from Docker project. Now, one of the things I want to get to with this is being able to compile the editor and client. And I think I actually had some of those that I just didn't want to bring in right away. Build client, make editor. Build test client. Probably fine. Now this I might need to go back and, yeah, because all these LNs are going to complain. All right. Oh, right, because I changed the attributes. All right, so build client. Oh, build client does run to build. CD game source, making directories, copying items from build into directories. Run a One Life app. Then change back. And then set up stuff down here to execute. But there's copies instead of linking. Test client and editor goes to game source makes, and then links these into the game source directory. And this is assuming localhost, which is probably fine since we can run a server from here. So I'm not, yeah, the build client is one I didn't really test in the Docker environment before, but these are going to need all the all this stuff. So it's gonna look like that, and then you're gonna look like this, and then we can do, oh, you know what? I think my server, well, they already existed, so it wasn't a problem there, but I forgot to update all these. So this is just objects. No, not objects.txt, just objects. Tutorial maps. Data version number.txt. Wait, oh, this was data version number.txt I copied. Categories. All right, and then build test client. This is, if I want to copy something, I might as well copy the blank one. Put that down here, get both of these. I guess I should have indented all these first. Excuse me. So you. And then we have animations, categories, ground, music, objects, overlays, scenes, sounds, sprites, transitions. All right, no chat. Oh, yeah, they broke this at some point when doing the keyboards. Oh, okay, ready. All right, life, and we want build test client and editor. So this will test the build step. I guess I could go ahead and work out GUI here. Oh, that's right. So Vagrant is update is done here. Oh, let me switch the day colors. Let me do it again because the Explorer didn't get the message. Installers are notorious for not handling the high contrast color schemes well. Okay, that's computing space requirements. You are still doing a first time build. I should probably look at downloading VirtualBox just in case. Vagrant is still computing. All right, so this appears to build. We need to figure out GUI mode. So we need to once again build client. Yeah, this is like a very different process. This is like, This is like making a release version or something. So I'm not actually sure I want that one, at least not yet. So that means we want... Okay, yeah, we updated that because we messed stuff up. Fix, link guards, git add, R1 life, build, test. Nope, that's right, minus F. Add script to build client and editor. All right, so that is finally ready. That I need to figure out if that's where I put it before. Do we have a C? Yes, we do. Oh. Security stuff. That is... Oh, I might actually have to do an explicit run as admin on that. Settings. They don't seem to be smart enough to do that themselves. All right, downloads. Install. How do you... There is no run as admin option on that. Okay, well, we've got this. We can continue working on can we run a GUI mode? I'll look it up and it's possible. I just have to see. Remember how. Suspend the, you'll see the GUI. Changing the setting above, that reboots the box. I don't really care about the reboot. And then Vagrant reload, okay. And that is just, not in my face, thank you. Do Vagrant. Did I minimize this or close it? I guess I closed it. Okay. Vagrant file. Okay, config. Oh, and there it is. Oh, that's provider. Okay, okay. Oops. And then this, we want to more specifically remove. And then we want to, OSXY. All right. Exit from there. Let's see if you work any better now. Yeah, we'll just see if it runs. All right. Yeah, so it's doing kind of a rebuild. And there it is. So this would be. So that terminal should be fine. So that finally gave me a prompt. The guest OS does not support mouse pointer for video mode. Yeah, okay. Guys, the virtual machine automatically capture the keyboard every time they use activated, make it unavailable. Press the host key. Host key is shown on the status bar at the bottom. Left command. Okay. Current video mode. Yeah, so I might have to do something on here to get the window stuff up, unless the Linux version is capable of going into video mode itself. Now, I've been relying on Vagrant SSH to get into here. We have to get out, please. Okay. Or press the host key. Would you go away, please? Okay. I need to log into Vagrant GUI. Vagrant. Well, that makes sense or something. All right, and we should be able to CD 1 hour, 1 life, and see all our stuff. Okay, so we think it built that in 1 life game source. So let's just see if. Let's start? It's not going to be able to find a server. That's looking like we do not have any kind of GUI support. It's looking for a Windows server of some sort. Oh, and maybe also, oh, can't find a sound output. Okay, well, that makes sense. Does that mean it, oh, yep. It just quit. Let's do a quick, yeah, no, it's not running. All right, well, hopefully it's not like just blocked on sound. Vagrant Windows is still running. So is this a... shared clip, guest additions. I don't know if, does Vagrant do that for us? This might also be where it's useful to look at the 101 Life forums. Because there are several topics on this, and I'd done a Windows path before. And now that I've got a virtual machine, I could actually just go back to that machine, which might, well, I have to get that stuff installed first, which it's taking its sweet time. Could sort of go back to there. All right, search. This is... Linux test editor client. VirtualBox. There's an image. I don't know if that would integrate nicely with... I mean, I could probably figure out how to do the merge directory, but... on top of a regular server. So that's pull and build test system. I probably included all of these packages. I think that was only the ones that were missing from the base install. Interesting, it says One Life app. Is that actually a thing in the Linux build? Nope, it's just One Life, so that appears to have been something that changed. Okay, so this is actually correct here. Okay, so it needs to restart, huh? Well, we'll see how well that works. I think I also... Are you done downloading? You're done downloading. Make sure VirtualBox is updated. Oh, we'll reset your network connection. Well, let's not do that while we're streaming, okay? We'll have to get by without that update if we can. Or maybe we won't get it to Windows today. Okay, edit. That's how to use maps, which is something I want to get to once we can get the editor and stuff running. This might also be back to VirtualBox. Okay. Vagrant. No, it's gonna be the wrong kind of window. I need a Windows server. I mean, there's problem is there's two kinds of GUIs going on here. There's like the virtual machine GUI. Desktop might be. We need a different base box. VirtualBox display. Install XFCE. Don't start the GUI as root. Anyone to start the GUI. Well, that's for an actual desktop environment. This is not that big a deal. Before starting the GUI. So that's all. That's XFCE. Oh, the VBox isn't always installed. Okay, so a bunch of these are apt-get installs. So we're going to have to rebuild our box. I kind of don't mind having it as a separate call, actually. So this is, oh, hold of, this is, GUI desktop. And then, well, let's, yeah, you know what? I can do this here. Well, I probably don't have clipboard. And then that just becomes part of our script. Get install. Oh, yep. That's in default sudo mode. Or the actual install is running as root, I suppose. Actually, I'm Vagrant, not root already. So that's probably okay. Oh, they're probably saying you need to permit the Vagrant user to start the GUI. Okay. Right, and we can't install the VirtualBox update on that. Well, hopefully that shouldn't be an issue. While I'm streaming, because it wants to reset the network interface. All right, yeah, this did say install and sudo start. And all of this is why you don't, by default, use GUIs, because they add a lot of stuff. All right, well. This seems to be taking a little bit of time, and I'm out of water, so I'm going to go fix that. I'll be back in a minute or two. Three, two, one.
How did I survive that?
And on Baron, it's not enough to kill you.
Participated in doing carrot farms so far tonight, and a big part of that has been that this game's really goddamn overwhelming, and I just didn't know what I was doing. But there's a lot of... Okay.
So I wanna like alt right click that edge. If I bring this up, how does that look? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do.
It should have been already.
Uh-oh. Looks like some high bandwidth clips. Alright, we got one step done here. We seem to have installed the XFCE stuff. Oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, just kind of stepping through this to make sure things work. So now we've got VirtualBox, guest, DKMS. Would not expect to be as big. Okay. Guest utils. Okay. Okay, there's a little bit extra stuff here. Oop, I might have to... Oh, I'm over. Okay, so it's just guest X11. Oh, it's our newest version. All right, so something got it. Cool. And then we have the permission thing. Sudo vim etc x11 x wrapper. Ooh. Okay. I could probably go back to VI or something real quick, but I'm probably going to want some version of this anyway. Even though I'm mainly going to be editing files outside. Was what? apt-get -y. Oh, install. Python. Well, I guess it's a feature-packed Vim. Not quite the tiny little thing that VI used to be. Allowed users. Okay. The only setting. Now, on theory, we can start XFCE. Oh, that was the script, which got scrolled off here. Let's see if the current environment is doing that. Unrecognized option. Does not support pointer integration in the current video mode. Okay, well, I mean, that's, yeah. So it seems to have that. I don't know if it stopped at that, though. Display. Check host version. All right, so drag and drop we might have to do after we've started the GUI or something. So let's just make sure these are all independent operations. Fine. So get that in the setup script. Start X FCE 4. The first start of the panel. Okay, so this is a very, very small window, which we might want to look into at some point, but all right, so one question here is, do we have to run a GUI thing in here, or can we go into here and one life, ooh, snow fell off there. Game source and do one life. Okay, we appear to be actually blocked by the ALSA stuff. Cannot find card 0. I don't know if that's also lib or if that is, oops. Why are we having issues with pointers? Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of things we need to figure out. Maybe I need to... Yeah, my console has gone into a weird mode here. And it's still a weird mode. Okay, so it's just that one console at least. So that would be a... Oh, this is being totally overridden by general sound card stuff. Is there like a... How do we do acquired terms? Wow. This is really terrible help, guys. Well, it's a search engine. Wow. It's like, I know you could just go into like VirtualBox, and there's probably a setting for it. But I kind of wanted it to have it in the definition. Yeah, enable audio, which we'd have to shut it down. Maybe Vagrant enable audio? Or maybe that's in the, that says GUI was one of the settings. So maybe there's also an audio setting that makes sound work. Okay. Audio testing programs use X11. Precise. Bootstrap script. Ruby platform. Must be for Ruby development, I guess. Modify VM audio. Oh, this is okay. Or maybe they're using this as a way to detect the system? Oh, right, because it's Vagrant's running Ruby. User mod audio Vagrant. OSS 4? And I guess actually having the sound work could be nice. Okay, so vb.customize, modify VM. And this does actually have to depend on platform. So let's see if that's enough. No, this is Vagrant file straight up. Well, you know what? We got a GUI to run. Let's, oh, did I? Oh, yeah, I exit into that entire tab. Set up GUI desktop for client dev. And I probably need to figure out some way to have like multiple Vagrant files or something that don't do all of that. So you can just a server if you want to. All right, so GUI true. Okay, that was not what I wanted. There's probably a command to do this. Snapshots to spend. Loads new, yeah. Well, the other thing I need to do is I need to put something like start xf high. Did I close that? No. Okay. Start xfce. Okay, fine. Start XFCE. Start XFCE. Oh, 4. That's what I lost. All right, and last time we tried doing this from here. Not sure if you could start the GUI from there or not. All right. 12.4. Okay, that's an Ubuntu thing. 1 hour, 1 life, game source. All right, it's a program. Nope, cannot find card 0. Now I might have to do reprovision here. Machine settings, audio. Oh, audio is enabled. So we might have to do some of this other stuff here. Nope, that was the browser. We're looking it up. So bootstrap script. Debian front end non-interactive. Smart enough to detect that it's not being run interactively. Oh, so is this supposed to save you from typing -yes? Well, he's doing -yes anyway. That's exporting it. Another thing, it's not a reasonable default. Docker run. So in the install context, maybe. Huh. So this is to get sound working. I don't know if this installs any GUI stuff. I have to reboot for drivers to kick in. Get update. So that's an awkward one. Also audio. Oh, because this is technically OSS. That's a different Ubuntu image. SMS tools. SSH forward X11 forward agent. That does not have GUI on. Has a different... Ooh, that's a straight up wget. And that is definitely referencing the Ubuntu 14, so I have to kind of start over on that. Also daily. Did anybody report... Is this... No, this is a Linux test server. But he's assuming you're actually on Linux, I presume. Just can't find GL headers. Okay. VirtualBox. What if we actually went back to search? Nope. Nothing. VM you built, great. I'm kind of curious how to do this whole startup process. Server. Somebody else did a Docker. Okay, so VirtualBox image is probably how to set up a custom server. VirtualBox image. Following instructions here, setting up your own personal editor client. We looked at that. GUI editor, guest additions. Yeah, I think the people mainly using this for a server. Right? I mean, maybe. I know he did something to get the server running in Windows recently. Maybe the editor would work if you did a cross compile. I have to figure out how to do that. Or perhaps he's something like the make distribution scripts that would tell you how to do that. Custom server. This is just Linux, how to set up the server. All right, so that's not going to help. So we're back to, okay, desktop environment. We have this with OS S, which might be a different, actually, is that the current recommended? Or did that change? I wanted to getting started. Nope, they're still saying precise 64. But apparently there's a 14 now. To open default as output device. Did I actually get to the point of properly trying this out? Yes, because this is connected and running. It's probably similar. Or maybe this is back to... I don't know if I still got the search. Oh, that's right. I wanted to copy this message, and something's bonkered in the terminal. So we get to play window games. I'll say utils. All right, let's oh no. Sudo apt get install. Unable ALSA. Alas. Alas indeed. Already at the newest version. Also lib, also OSS. Also mixer. Also mixer. User mod minus G audio. Yeah, there's something weird. Oh, I can't do any mouse stuff in here for some reason. I wonder if that's like the virtual machine editions? Trying to do GUI stuff? All right, folder, folder, folder. Was it user? Groups. New list of supplementary groups. I mean, it was a permissions issue. Oh, dev audio. Okay, there's definitely some, I can't scroll this. Auto FF, yeah, I have no dev audio devices. Sudo ls dev auto fs. Okay, so that is not a permission issue. Okay, sound cards. And just in case. Okay, there is something there. Modules, was that devices? Okay. And what about... Okay, that's not a permission issue. Okay, so that's saying 1. I'm saying 0, so card 0. Option sound, USB audio, index 0. But it's showing up as 0, so that's fine. No audio. It's audio back to the kernel to use the no audio flag. Kernel includes the sound dummy module. Just close the logs. Maybe this is a Vagrant specific thing? Vagrant also audio. It's trusty. This I think is, yeah, this is the one you pointed out. Oh, this might be the repository of the same thing. Yeah. So this would be a total rebuild on a different base. Ubuntu trusty. And then it goes and gets a bunch of very specific files. Oh, my user mod command is wrong. That's something. Nope. That doesn't do it. 1 hour, 1 life. 1 life. 1 life. Oh, right. CD game source. Oh, okay, we have to be running in a GUI environment. Vertical sync disabled. Graphics card control panel. Okay. Display. Enable video capture. Is there a thing in here for this? Reflection. VirtualBox. VSync. Oh, and we did, that one thing was already installed, so our magic command, I'm probably, yeah, you're still being annoying, is actually this. Not sure which of those other things installed the ALSA stuff, but we need to have that. So I think we're done with you. This was in fact a screen tearing warning. XORV is not complete. Nothing but grab host OS. Do I have to enable the hardware acceleration? Forge monitor resolution. Ubuntu. Aha. Well, I don't know if this is XFCE. Monitor conf. Custom resolutions. Well, this could be for Arch Linux. Can we see what this is? So this is Etsy X11. Okay, so there is an X11. There is xorg conf.d. No. CDX11 grep minus R for monitor and star. Binary file X. Well, that's so useful. I mean, maybe you have to add this file? Well, this is right now. This is Vagrant also. Also. This is sound stuff again. Complete GUI. No one's really talking about this here. They're all using it for servers. That's what I was just searching. Maybe we have to figure out how to turn on the hardware acceleration. ComViz. NVIDIA's control panel. VirtualBox. That's going to be a. I'll have to look at that later. Section monitor. xorg.conf. Where is an xorg.conf? In what case? Grab the host OS. Defect won't fix. In the Ubuntu NVIDIA X server settings. 3D acceleration. Oh, what was the thing? VBox client. Clipboard display, checklist version seamless. Oh yeah, I guess drag and drop isn't even an option. Continue running as a system service. Well, oh wait, this is game source. I would need to, for a fully compatible version, we would need to do one life. Have I not actually built a server? Oh, right. I might need a new terminal though, even though I tried to background it. Oh, I haven't really configured the client, but it. One life, game source. Settings, use. No, actually more. Use custom server. Ooh, yes, use custom server. Okay, so it's at least somewhat safe. Screen resolution is going to be bonkers. Oh, I guess the make distribution rebuilt the cache, so this didn't have to do it, huh? This was a very, very long process when I did the build distribution. So it might be that the game has to do the same stuff here. And it's running in a virtual machine on a laptop. One 1.6. Is there a setting for that? We have redetect. Current frame rate. Oh, it's all over the place in the virtual machine. Oh, man. Oh, it's like a restart. Okay. Oh no, that's a crash. Well, I guess what I really needed out of this was the editor. I could go run the game elsewhere. I might want to do something about screen resolution and stuff then, but... Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to do some of the installation stuff elsewhere. Alright, so it's a local server. Is this because of FPS? This thing seems to be going fine. Is this some kind of crash dump? Double free corruption. And I'm not getting the option to connect. Alright, what is the... this is surely going to be easier to look here. One Life. Oh, something did make a One Life app, huh? One Life, game source. What's the editor called? Edit One Life. This is probably designed for larger screens too, with less concern for making it properly respond to things, or to the environment, because it's really for JSON. Oh yeah, that is not. Ooh, that fade time. Yeah, I'm not going to run on this laptop, that's for sure. All right. We got something sorta working. So I guess I throw this over, try to get everything set up on the Windows machine so we can actually test it there. And maybe I just end up having to look into cross-compiling some things? I don't know. And would logout affect a... Oh, I don't even have rights to do this, apparently. I shut down the Windows system? Okay. Yep. Are you in? You are in. All right, didn't quite get things moved over to Windows. Did we get... Yeah. Let's actually say... make it clear that that is just a documentation thing. Enable audio. Game won't start. Okay. And we're going to be shutting down. I got that too close to the monitor there. All right. So that's going to be it for now. I'm going to have to do a network reset to get the rest of the virtualization stuff up. To get things properly over on Windows. So, thanks for watching. Thanks to Raphaelos, Sturmius, Leopard, Thylos, Kurokatsuni, Haskin TV, Destructive Phase, Cat Knox, Dog and Lake, Gamer Siren, Nidmix Games, One Jellybean, Ocerat Gaming, Joy Shift for AP, Instant Speed Live, and it rewrote it on me. Gamer Siren, probably missed somebody else. I need to do something. I need a better solution for that. Do we have anything to recommend? See, that might be wrapping up soon. That doesn't have videos, but usually runs for a while. It depends on the day if he's got people or not, but 3F001 is available as a programming tutor. If you got any questions, or if he's like listening to questions, otherwise he might be working on his own thing a little bit more quietly. But that's someplace to hang out. We're looking for someplace to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Plan right now is to be back for some Astroneer later in the day. Bye for now.